How does one use social media to elevate their platform?
Don't.
Interesting. Why do you say don't?
Okay.
So do you think that it's detrimental to people?
Be careful using social media. Watch what you say. Watch who you talk to. Choose carefully who you associate with. And most importantly, don't spend all of your life on social media. Go outside and touch the fucking grass. And people will say, oh, but what about you? Spoiler alert, just because I post on Twitter a lot doesn't mean I'm not also doing other things at the same time. I have a life. I'm much happier as a result of it. The less I log into Twitter on a day, the happier I am. You can boost your brand. You can make yourself well known, but it doesn't help that much. It isn't worth harming your mental health over. It never is. I mean, in the funny sense, I say don't, but in actuality, do it. Just be cautious about what you do. Every situation depends, but I will say this because I've personally ran into it, obviously. If what you are getting hate on for is a bad take, like you had an opinion that people don't agree with, weigh how you feel about your opinion. Do you stand by that opinion? Is that really what you feel? Whether or not people like your opinion or not, if it's yours, maybe don't share it, but at the same time, don't let people take that from you. Don't acquiesce just because you're getting hate. You don't have to engage with anybody. The amazing thing about social media, and people call me a coward. People will make fun of me for this all the time. There are ways to not engage with people. You can block people. You can mute people. You can choose not to engage with people. Your social media experience is yours to make. There is no shame in blocking people that you don't want to interact with. There's only shame if you let people shame you. So just remember, if you have made a mistake, if you've done something stupid, if you're not willing to back down from it, just be prepared to have to disengage from people. I mean, I've never been ashamed of it. And at the end of the day, sometimes all it takes is let it sit. Leave it alone. Don't reply. People will be pissed off, and then once it's had time to sink in, they either won't care anymore or they'll feel differently about it. And that's been my number one go-to strategy, and it works pretty well for diffusing people. Time is everything.
How do you improve toxicity in the community?
I think it starts with everybody at the top. It starts with community leaders, the people that everybody looks to. I don't think you can make a change overnight. It's not possible. It's a very large community. It's a community of young people who are in a fan base that is already very weird and toxic on its own, let alone. And it's people who are very headstrong. People in wrestling are often very stubborn. So I don't think you can change the whole community overnight. I think this is the kind of thing that would take a very long time. Start from the top. People at the top, reward people who are good to each other, who aren't toxic, who aren't assholes. Reward that behavior. Let them grow and develop. Do not reward the toxic people. Put a heavy boundary on it, and eventually, over time, you'll start to see things move in the right direction. You can't do it all at once, though. And the number one thing that you can't do, that you really shouldn't do, don't alienate people in the process. Don't push people away. Just subtle reinforcement is the best way.